And we're back once again in the Mass Effect universe. And just before we finally get off of this damn citadel, there's a few more errands that we have to run. So, chat with this lady here.
Moment, Spectre?
Could have said it slightly less snootily.
Hello, Spectre. I have a business proposition for you.
I've got plenty to do already.
Of course you do. But this would be easy work for you, and I pay extremely well. I'm acquainted with a pair of powerful crime bosses. They're hiding on remote worlds, and I have the coordinates. You could do the galaxy a favor.
It's a good pitch, but there seems to be more to it than this.
What kind of defenses would these two have?
I haven't the faintest idea, but they're certain to be armed. Their partnership's soured, and each believes that the other intends to kill him. They will be well prepared.
I eliminate them, and then you take over and try to eliminate me. How stupid do I look?
Transparent as anything.
While I appreciate your estimation of my bravado, I have no intention of attempting to murder you. You are the first human Spectre, and you are doing important work for humanity. I have no interest in red sand or slavery. Anyone who does deserves to die. Our needs are aligned.
That's rather absolutist. I mean, they do sound like bad guys. But what's her stake in this?
And what do you get out of this?
We share interests in certain cooperative ventures. But their business practices have forced me to terminate our relationship. Once they are dead, I will manage our organization in a more tasteful manner.
Believe that when I see it.
What crimes did these men commit?
They're red sand dealers who make victims of their customers. Those who can no longer pay are sold to Batarians as slaves. They're loathsome, hurting innocent people. They must be ended.
I mean, the most expedient course of action would be to take these two out and then just take her out as well. But sure, why not? I'll do it. See how far it takes me.
If they're as bad as you say they are, they need to be dealt with.
Excellent. Here are the coordinates. When these men are dead, I will wait for you at the third set of coordinates. Goodbye, Commander. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
I mean, as a Spectre, you can kind of do anything, really. So that's that. And I need to head to C-Sec Academy, and then we can see about leaving the damn Citadel at last. Anything over here? No. Right. Okay. So it's the Presidium. No, that's not it. Sugar. Towards, and then it's C-Sec. Oh, and I can also go and see that guy in the basement of, well, not in the basement, but just off from where you come in at C-Sec. Down here, there is a chap who sells stuff, which is the little green arrow, the little green dot, and the compass at the bottom right there. Oh, and a keeper. Two birds, one stone. Right, speak to this guy.
Looking you up. Commander Shepard, here with the Alliance military. First time on the Citadel, that about right?
Yup. It's been quite an eventful first time on the Citadel. Would be quite nice to get some better armor though, that one's kinda ugly.
How did you know all that?
I'm the C-Sec requisitions officer. I need to make sure our buyers are authorized. So, will you be purchasing anything today, Commander Shepard?
Hopefully.
Show me what you got.
Sounds good. Just let me set you up. Well, this must be a mistake. System's telling me to offer you our select stock. Spectre? Well, I heard about that, but I didn't realize it was you. Sorry, Commander.
Yeah, well, you won't be forgetting my name in a hurry.
Just show me what you've got.
I'll open the rare stocks for you, Commander. Enjoy.
Thank you very much. Right, so, as you can see, this Spectre stuff is quite out of my price range. Even the pistol is considerably more expensive than what I can manage, but look at those. Look, compared to what I've got at the moment, it's almost twice as much damage. The shots before it overheats oh no, sorry, I'm reading that the wrong way around. Yeah, it's a lot more accurate. You can fire more shots before overheating. It's just better. There is a reason why this stuff costs as much as it does. But unfortunately, yeah, even the cheapest stuff is slightly beyond what we can afford, unfortunately. Might be able to get some biotic stuff. I mean, that is only marginally better. I don't quite get why you'd get that, but oh well. Anyway, what we'll do is we'll pick up the license, and we will pick up that grenade upgrade, because that's about all we can afford at the moment. We'll need to do a few more missions before we can actually start doing a proper shopping trip. Unfortunately, we're going to be relying on drops and rewards, maybe the odd bit of blackmail, like we did with that guy on Eden Prime. So that's us. So this is the one to the Presidium, and we need this one in the middle, which takes us up to the docking bay, and we can finally get on board the Normandy and get the hell out of here. We just have to deal with annoying elevator conversation ride.
In other news, Exogeny Corp is still denying reports that one of their survey teams has gone missing in the Hades Gamma Cluster.
You do get
When asked
some
why communication with the survey
missions
team
from
was
this as
suddenly
well, so
cut
they're
off
not
last
entirely
week,
pointless. As you
company
see, that
officials refused to comment.
just triggered something in the journal just there, so we'll have to check that out at some point. I did notice when I was looking around that there are mods on here to make the elevator ride shorter. Now, whether or not that cuts out the missions and some of the conversations and stuff, I don't know, but the trying to add mods on this game I've never tried, and to be honest I probably won't. Seems a bit like hard work. And there's a keeper up there. I'll have to make sure that we scan him. Yep, just don't mind me. There we go. Scanned him. Anything here? I think there's some codex entries for the Normandy, but I think they might come later.
I've got big news for you, Shepard. Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
I don't think he's
She's
happy
quick
about
and
it.
quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Spectre. Treat her well, Commander.
I think something's amiss here.
I want the truth. Why are you stepping down, sir?
You needed your own ship. A Spectre can't answer to anyone but the Council. And it's time for me to step down.
It's not quite as simple as that, though, is it?
Come clean with me, Captain. You owe me that much.
I was in your shoes 20 years ago, Shepard. They were considering me for the Spectres.
So Harkin was telling the truth.
What happened?
I failed. I couldn't make the cut.
Kind of.
It's not something I'm proud of. Ask me later and I'll tell you the whole story. For now, all you need to know is, I was sent on a mission with Saren, and he made sure the Council rejected me. I had my shot. It came and went.
So he wasn't actually
Now
a
you have
full
a chance to make up for my mistakes.
Spectre like Harkin said he was, but he was pretty damn close. And I think the mission that Anderson's talking about is actually explored in some of the in one of the novels, I think, that I've never actually read. Maybe I should, considering how much I actually like the Mass Effect universe. It seems a bit amiss that I've not checked them out. But yeah, that is, I think, one of the books that are out. But I might be wrong on that.
I won't let you down, sir.
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The conduit. He's got us Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
We had reports of Geth in the Pharos system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria. Maybe you can figure out where the conduit is before he does.
Well, it does seem as though if you stop Saren that you severely hamper whatever it is that the Reapers are up to, but in the meantime, what?
The Reapers are the real threat.
Yeah.
I'm with the Council on this one, Shepard. I'm not sure they even exist.
Well, you're a Muppet.
But if they do exist, the conduit's the key to bringing them back. Stop Saren from getting the conduit, and we stop the Reapers from returning.
I'll stop him.
Gotcha.
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice in that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the Protheans. We don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her. See what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara Tassoni. We have reports she was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
I'm gonna start with Liara. And in fact, I think I might do that this episode.
Sounds like we should head for the Artemis Tau cluster.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Spectre now. You don't answer to us.
But your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole. You make a mess and I get stuck cleaning it up.
Well, I will try and be careful, but...
I'll take care of Saren. You take care of the political fallout.
Not exactly the answer I was looking for, Shepard. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Spectre.
True.
I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
Right. Let's chat with Anderson.
Yes, Commander?
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing, but you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
So let's hear a bit more about this history with him and
Tell
Saren.
me what happened with you and Saren 20 years ago.
It's close to 20 years ago now. Ambassador Goyle was our representative here on the Citadel. Like Udina, she wanted to get a human into the Spectres. She chose me. The Council sent Saren to keep an eye on me and evaluate my performance, just like they sent Nihilus to keep tabs on you.
What
I
happened?
think I deserve the whole story.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
I think something, I guess it didn't go to plan.
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned?
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
How many casualties?
The explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere. Nobody inside survived. There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic fumes, the final death count was over 500. Mostly civilians. Saren didn't care. The target was eliminated, mission accomplished, and I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Spectres.
But why was he blamed?
Saren caused the explosion. How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover. He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre. Saren's report was all the proof the Council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Spectre.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Who do you think the Council was going to listen to? Me or their best agent. I had a bad feeling about him right from the start. I should have been more careful. Maybe I could have stopped things before they got out of hand.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery. Maybe he just likes the violence. Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the Spectres. If so, he pulled it off.
It does seem to kind of fit his MO.
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
You're right, Commander. It's no good living in the past.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Okay, cool. So, I guess we're gonna head and try and find Liara.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
I heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics. Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Saren's out there somewhere, and we're gonna find him.
Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander. 100%. Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew,
So I can do
now's the time.
a motivational speech, or I can be a bit more doom and gloom. I've got to be honest. Let's square with them.
This is Commander Shepard speaking.
We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy.
Time to for humanity to start pulling its weight a bit.
For too long, our species has stood apart from the others.
Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy. Time to show them what humans are made of.
Yeah.
Wherever Saren goes, we'll follow.
Wherever he searches for the conduit, we'll be there. We will hunt him to the very ends of the galaxy and bring him down.
This is the most important mission any of us have ever been on.
The fate of an entire galaxy is at stake. We will stop Saren no matter what the cost.
Well said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
Thanks, Joker.
The captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, so, whilst that was going on, I've had a think. And I think we won't do the Liara mission this episode, for the very reason that I kind of want to have the main story missions as episodes in themselves. It keeps the runtime down a bit. If I do that mission, it's a long mission, if memory serves, and it will easily take this over an hour, so I don't want to do that. But, in the meantime, so it's going to be another episode without much in the way of action, or indeed anything in the way of action, but what I will do is we'll have a little bit more of a tour around the Normandy. We've not really checked it out at all. You know, we've looked at the cockpit. We've kind of explored this level a bit, but we've not gone down into the bottom level, the hangar bar of the ship where we go on missions and what have you. So we'll do that. We can speak with Kaidan. We can actually do a bit of a catch up with the crew. There's stuff that I'm sure that they'll want to say. So this is my quarters, I believe. Yeah. Quite Spartan. 2 beds though, so you know. Clearly they don't have a problem with maybe getting up to some hanky-panky on the ship. Let's have a chat with Kaidan.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
Okay, so maybe they don't have too much to say.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. and we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
Okay, so he doesn't have much to say about what happened on the Citadel.
We'll
In
talk
fact,
another time,
nothing.
Lieutenant.
So that was kind of a waste of time. Okay, so we've got all of these. Let's just check. None of this is better. And it's not. I'll reduce that to Omnigel. And nothing. Yeah, no. Nothing, nada, zip, zilch, 0. And now, this is the bit we haven't seen down here, which is the hangar, I guess, which is where your landing craft is kept. And also happens to be where Garrus, Rex, and Ashley hang out. And Tali down there is in the engineering room. So this is pretty much where your crew hangs out. So you spend quite a bit of time in here off mission. And this is the Alliance requisition I was talking about. The guy that makes the use of all those licenses
Commander.
we've been buying.
Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
That seems fair enough.
Let's see what you got.
You bet, Commander.
Let's just see. So you can actually get your Spectre stuff here as well. So that armor's actually worse. So a lot of what he has. So he does have some stuff that's better. So like that armor is quite obviously better. I don't think. No, that's not better. And that's obviously better, but that's heavy armor, so we can't even equip that anyway. Let's catch up with Rex. We've not spoken to him really.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
Let's find out a bit more about you, Rex.
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
Come on, big guy, don't be a hard ass on me.
You Krogans live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
Yeah, and you're kind of standing across from a Turian, so that's not going to be pleasant.
Yeah, they tried the same with us, but we fought them off.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
Okay, yeah, you do kind of have a point there.
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago.
There's a bit more
to it than this. The Genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Okay, so there's quite a few terms in there that people new to the series might not understand, so we'll go in a bit more in depth about that.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
Let's find out about this genophage you've mentioned.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
It's a singularly cruel way of dealing with the Krogan, who aren't saints, but yeah, it's hard to kind of... You'd have to be a bit of a, you know, a bit of a hard, soulless person to kind of be like, yeah, that seems fair.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist?
Fair point.
You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
Okay, so we've gone through all that.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
So that's the inevitable entry on... the Codex entry on the genophage. Let's speak to Garrus.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Oh?
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
Yeah, if you've been doing this for most of your life, then leaving is going to be kind of difficult.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to. I understand, Commander.
Put poor Garrus in his place. And finally, let's have a little catch up with Ashley. Hopefully she's got something slightly more to contribute than Kaidan did.
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
I mean, this Shepard, the backstory that we've picked, kind of knows exactly what that feels like.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
They have flashlight heads, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah. Point made.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Okay, so...
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Okay, so we've had our little catch-up, and... Oh! Not finally. I forgot about our resident engineer. Kinda. Examine that. Chat with Tali.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype, cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
So, being a Quarian, spending most of her life on her ships, then yeah, I guess she would be.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla, grow our own food, mine and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
I mean, I'm just trying to do a little bit of remembering of the timeline of Mass Effect. I'm just trying to think. I think this is in 2182, 2183, something like that. So 300. Bearing in mind that the Quarians left their homeworld 300 years ago. 300 years ago, humanity didn't even have planes. Like, it wasn't even like that we had like the shuttle or something. We had nothing. We hadn't even, we had some crappy balloons and that was it. But powered travel in the air was still 20-30 years away. And these guys were fleeing their home and they've had to make do, bearing in mind the leaps and bounds that humanity's made in that time, and they're using stuff that's almost like that. I mean, it would be the equivalent of us fleeing Earth in nothing more than a balloon. Let's find out a little bit more about the Quarians, because they're a very interesting... They're probably the most interesting race of Mass Effect, I think.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
Like, if you think about it, that's insane. The number of them that are left. I mean, initially it sounds like a lot, 17 million people floating about on a massive fleet of ships. But that's their entire species. I mean, it would be like humanity being reduced to the population of London and Scotland. That's about 17 million, I think. So, yeah, I mean, on the surface it sounds like a lot, but it really isn't.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
Like what? Like a fucking picnic hamper?
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
It's surprisingly democratic, considering how dire their situation is.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts.
Wow.
It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
That's a pretty, you know, for what is effectively a, not quite a military dictatorship, but a military, you know, the admirals are the heads of state pretty much, and that's a pretty effective way of ensuring that they don't go mad with power.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
So it's kind of like, if you ever watched any of the backstory stuff of the Matrix, it's quite similar to that.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
This is quite... I mean, even before the Geth happened and screwed up the Quarians, there were still restrictions on AI research and AI implementation, which I find kind of not surprising, but somewhat prescient that the council would have that much foresight to go, oh, actually, having a load of AI running around, maybe not the greatest idea.
So the Geth share brainpower?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in the group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
I don't get it.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers.
Okay.
As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
I'm surprised it was only a near panic.
What did you do?
It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
I mean... yeah.
You didn't really think they'd just let you destroy them without a fight, did you?
The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated.
You underestimated
them.
The
war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet.
I could have been a bit more judgmental with the Geth stuff, but...
But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
I mean, I guess you've got to make sure that you go to different ships, because otherwise you're just going to end up with a load of inbreeding.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer.
Makes sense.
Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I think that's pretty much all of it.
Else.
Like what?
Yeah, nothing else.
I should go.
See you later.
Let's have a little chat with Adam, shall we?
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tali? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
Oh.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
She has her uses. I'm not going to find out more about the Normandy, because it's basically just like talking to the codec.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for Tali, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
I came down to speak to my crew.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Okay, so I think that's pretty much everything. I could talk with Engineer Adams a bit more, but I don't think there's anything more for him to really say. Right, so we are finally done with catching up with people, and we basically have free reign. We can do whatever we want and go wherever we want. So, with that in mind, the next episode will be us trying to track down Dr. Liara Tassoni and maybe seeing if she knows anything about her mother and what the hell she's doing with a rogue Spectre. Hopefully this episode hasn't been too boring. I know it's again been another episode with a lot of talking, but from this point on, there will be more action, I guarantee you. So, hopefully, if you're not bored to tears, you'll be back for the next one. And we will see about maybe shooting some Geth, maybe meeting some new people and getting some more information. So if that sounds like something you want to check out, I'll see you next episode and we will see how it goes. So this is me checking out and I'll see you next time. Cheers.